Last time on Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta's misadventures had emerged all over the universe and now even all over the timeline. After some difficult battles, Trunks had returned to thank Goku and Vegeta for their help. An idea spawned in his head to visit other points in time, but as they tried to return to their original timeline, the space-time tunnel diverted, causing them to crash land on a different Earth to what they called home. What is this strange reality? The Grand Tour begins now. An old threat, a new world. What if Goku and Vegeta time traveled to Dragon Ball GT?
Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks get out of the time machine. They are stranded on a place that is very clearly Earth, but it feels nearly empty, and they can't feel the ki of any of their family. At first they think they went into Trunks' future, but quickly realize that that wasn't possible. After all, that universe had been destroyed. Where could they be? The team looked around for a minute, and two big guys with glowing red eyes jumped at them, screaming something about Saiyans. This was so strange, but the warriors defended themselves. Trunks stopped Vegeta from finishing the two men off. It was obvious to him that they were being controlled by something or someone. They had no idea what it could be, but they decided to fly and search for some familiar surroundings. But as they approached Capsule Corp, they noticed that there seemed to be two moons over them. Two moons? This is Earth, right?
This whole thing is testing my patience. I can even sense something similar to my own energy, but twisted.
Yeah, Boo's too. A lot of our friends are there. Should we check it out?
The Saiyans placed their hands on Goku's back, teleporting to the strange moon. When they arrived, they were surprised to see almost everyone from Earth was there. Though a little far away, they could see a battle between Oob and Baby. Goku wondered what the hell was going on. He knew and recognized this kid as Majin Buu's reincarnation, but he wasn't supposed to meet him for another few years. Their eyes darted up to a white-haired figure fighting him. No question about it, that was Vegeta's ki. However, it was corrupted by an alien being. In fact, almost everyone on the planet has similarly corrupted key signatures. Though they didn't want to intervene, things were clearly rough for the kid. Goku was impressed to see him fuse with Majin Buu, letting the Saiyan know that the kid was really the reincarnation he had hoped for. The fight was something Goku was impressed by, but he let out an audible gasp when Oob's chocolate beam was reflected back at him. This alerted the villain.
What the hell? Goku? Alive and grown? What? Is that Vegeta? And Trunks?
The fight was inevitable now, and Goku rushed in along with the two others. They all burst into Super Saiyan, holding off on their strongest forms from now. As they fought, Baby questioned who exactly they were. Of course, 3v1 was a little hard for Baby, so he called in the reinforcements, in the form of Trunks, Goten, Gohan, and Bra. Trunks was having a difficult time coming to terms with fighting himself, while Vegeta didn't want to attack Bra, shocked to see his daughter grown up, and Goku took a small cut to the cheek from a surprise slash from Goten, letting his guard down from seeing his son with such a different hairstyle.
I don't know how you regained your adult body, Goku, but you and this clone Vegeta still don't stand a chance against my power!
Goku was extremely confused by this. Baby assumed that they had used the Namekian Dragon Balls to make a clone of Vegeta and Trunks, and give Goku a new body. But Baby was tired of games, and he blasted at the fighters with a giant Gallic gun. The Gallic gun was meant for Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks, but Baby clearly didn't care if his own team was hurt in the process. Goku wouldn't let that happen, and he tried to protect them from the blast. What he didn't expect was Gohan and Goten holding his arms back, not allowing him to get away from the attack and defend himself. Goku burst into Super Saiyan Blue to push them away, but as Baby lost his ki signature, thanks to the God power, he let one of his symbiotes travel down the ki blast, landing on Goku's pants. As the blast dissipated, Goku smirked proudly.
It's over, baby, or whatever you are. This is the power of Super Saiyan God! You can't beat me!
Well, you know the Saiyans, Goku. If you can't beat them...
The parasite launched itself into one of Goku's cuts from the attack Goten gave him, making the Saiyan screaming pain.
Join them.
Trunks and Vegeta tried to shake Goku and ask him what's wrong, but as lines crossed through his eyes, he exploded his ki to push them away. Goku, still in Super Saiyan Blue, rose up next to Baby with a giant smirk. Slowly, marks formed on his face and his eyes filled up red.
Kakarot, what the hell?
Father, look at him! Baby must have taken him over!
Ah, I see. These memories clear things up. So it was time travel that brought you here. My, this version of Goku has been through a lot more than the one I know, hasn't he? I think having these two Saiyans under my possession gives me a good pair, don't you think?
You bastard! How dare you use our bodies, you Tuffle scum!
The fight began once more, with Vegeta being forced into Super Saiyan Blue. It was difficult now, as Kakarot had gotten a power boost from being taken over. What could they do in this situation? Just then, a voice rings from behind the fighters.
You look just like me as an adult!
Pests everywhere I look!
I'm a bit stronger than I was before! I don't plan on losing to you ever again!
The child Goku rushed in to attack his adult self, but with little luck. Even with a tail and Super Saiyan 3, baby Goku was far too powerful. Still, he was helpful as Vegeta tried to focus on baby Vegeta. That was until a Kamehameha clash sent child Goku flying off onto the top of a mountain.
Controlling both of these powerful bodies is a bit much. But thanks to this, I don't have to worry. This should be an interesting technique to try out. View?
He isn't going to.
No, this can't be. How?
He has Goku's memories. We have to stop him. The team tried to blast all together at baby Goku and Vegeta, but Goten and Trunks got in the way, taking the blast head on.
Fusion Ha!
As the team's blast dissipated, a blinding light pushed them all back to the ground, and the double corrupted voice of Gogeta sounded off.
Yes, this is my ultimate power. The power of the two most powerful Saiyans corrupted by a Tuffle. What poetic justice this is!
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back. And now back to our show.
Vegeta's eyes shook in fear and he turned to look at GT Goku. He was just staring at the earth, while Vegeta turned back to be met by a punch to the face. He was joined by Trunks, but baby was too much. All he did was toy with them. They were getting more and more tired as time went on. They seemed to be pushed to the edge when the whole planet began to shake. Baby Gogeta looked up and he saw the giant foot of an Ozaru come crashing down next to him. Vegeta and Trunks looked at each other, then back at baby. They were saved by a giant golden ape. This timeline sure was insane. His power wouldn't be enough though, and he was rampaging indiscriminately through the city. While it did shake up baby, all it did was suspend their death a little longer. But Vegeta took this opportunity to turn to Trunks.
Listen to me, call for Kaioshin. He should be watching this fight. Ask for the Potara.
Potara? You mean...
Now!
Vegeta punched the Ozaru towards baby Gogeta as he was almost stepped on. Trunks did as instructed, yelling out to the sky asking for Kaioshin while trying to fight off the lackeys. Kibito Shin did hear him, but he just needed the right moment to deliver them. Kibito Shin watched carefully. Vegeta, with no choice left, flew up to the monster, yelling at Kakarot that he was better than this, that he was a warrior, someone who had faced overwhelming odds. The rage of an Ozaru should be nothing to him.
Are you really anything like the Kakarot I know? Wake up, you fool!
The roars of the Ozaru got louder and louder until they simply disappeared, and the shaking of the ground turned into a huge wave of energy that made both Vegeta and baby look back. The monkey was now not even a kid Goku. He was something in between, something that called himself Super Saiyan 4. Kibito Shin took this chance to teleport to the planet and handed over the earrings to Trunks, while promising to take care of Pan and Mr. Satan. Trunks rushed over to Goku, trying to hand him the earring. Goku was desperate to try out this new overwhelming power, but he knew that right now, he'd stand no chance against the fusion. He could just feel it in his power. He'd have to test his personal limits after the battle was won. Vegeta reassured him that it wasn't permanent, like they once thought. And though Goku was skeptical, he finally nodded, allowing Trunks to hand him the earring. Goku placed it on his left ear. As he turned to face the fight, baby Gogeta was standing over Vegeta, ready to kill him with a blast. But Goku saw Vegeta's open palm next to his head. Carefully, he launched the earring right into his hand. Vegeta smirked, quickly placing it on his right ear. As baby blasted Vegeta, he slid from under him and towards Goku.
What the hell?
Vegeta was born once more. This time out of the power of two different timelines. His strength was unreal, having the fur of Super Saiyan 4 and the hair of Super Saiyan God.
Alright! The Potara earrings versus the fusion dance. Let's find out which is stronger.
You worms, no way your fusion can match mine. Let's do this before either of our times run out.
And so the ultimate clash of fusions began. Trunks, Pan, Mr. Satan, and Kibito Shin watched in awe as every punch created a shockwave across the battlefield. Baby was losing his cool, something Vegeta was very good at making his enemies do. This made him easier to attack.
You may know everything I'm going to do, Gogeta, but I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it? Why, you scum? This is no game!
Baby was pushed away, where he built up a giant energy sphere over his head. It was black and full of power that could destroy the entire world, but it shrank down, where Baby crushed it in his hands, throwing it back out in a silver and black star.
Revenge Stardust Breaker!
Vegeta tried to avoid it, but it was nearly impossible as little particles were so small and hard to avoid. He was caught in it, which burned and cut him up before exploding in a powerful, colorful explosion. Vegeta crashed against the ground, where his team ran to him. Kibito Shin tried to heal him, but Vegeta pushed him away before he was done, as Baby blasted at him once more. This time he was able to avoid it, appearing behind Baby. The two teleported all over the planet trying to avoid blasts and punches. It was around this time when the old Kai told Kibito Shin to head to Earth and get the divine water. Though he had some difficulty doing so, he gets it and teleports back where the fight is still going on. But Vegeta finally cornered Baby. The Potara fusion pulled back his arm, cupping his hands and charged up an incredible orb of red and yellow ki.
Final Kamehameha times 100!
The blast shot out just as Vegeta teleported in front of Baby, engulfing the Tuffle, who defused as he hit the ground. Baby Goku and Vegeta opened their eyes to attack, where they realized that Oob had also come out of the fusion. In fact, him coming out had damaged them greatly. They could barely get up, and Oob was helped up, commenting on how there was no way he would let himself be eaten. As Baby Goku and Vegeta tried to get up, Kaioshin threw the divine water at Vegeta. Instinctively, Vegeta punched the base the water was in, shattering it, and letting the water splash all over Goku and Vegeta. Out of it came out a baby parasite, scurrying away just as Vegeta defused. It was over, or at least it seemed that way. Kibito Shin hurried to provide healing to Goku and GT Vegeta, but GT Goku and Super Vegeta saw Baby trying to run away in a ship, pushing Bulma off. Now GT Goku and Vegeta and Super Goku and Vegeta rushed to meet him. They were too late, as Baby's ship burst into outer space, but they couldn't let him get away. The team nodded at each other, and they all charged up their own ki attacks. GT Vegeta with the final shine attack, GT Goku with the Kamehameha times 10, Super Vegeta with the final flash, and Super Goku with a super Kamehameha. In a flash, it was all over, and Baby was hurled towards the sun. The threat was over, and the heroes had once again won. When everything came down, the two pairs of Gokus and Vegetas came together to explain everything, while the two Trunkses tried to come to terms with the breaking of the time travel rules. Though future Trunks did tell GT Trunks just how proud he was of him. They helped everyone get to the new planet Plant before Earth blew up thanks to the Black Star Dragon Balls, meaning that Piccolo didn't have to die and everyone was saved. They all discussed different transformations, and the GT team decided that they wanted to challenge themselves to achieve a power similar to their super counterparts, but with Super Saiyan 4 instead. Though they did want to give Super Saiyan God a try sometime. Finally, it was time for the Super Team to leave, but it was to their dismay that Trunks realized that the time machine was badly damaged.
Well, I'm sure Bulma could help with that. In the meantime, why don't you all stay? We can train, and there's a tournament coming up.
We really shouldn't, if we could get it fixed immediately.
A tournament? Why didn't you say so? Wait until I tell you guys about our last tournament.
Goku walked away with GT Vegeta, talking about how awesome the Tournament of Power was. Trunks sighed, looking to talk to his father. However, he was gone too, walking away with GT Goku and Pan.
Really? So do these Dragon Balls destroy Earth? So that's why Piccolo wanted to destroy them with a sacrifice. Well, I'm sure we can take them off your hands and get rid of them in our universe. Might be safer.
GT Trunks and Super Trunks looked at each other, face-palming. Looks like they will have to spend a little more time here than they expected. The Dragon team celebrated another martial arts tournament. It had been a long time since their last one, so it was a good time, though they all agreed to give the final match to Mr. Satan. The adult Goku was telling GT Vegeta all about his last tournament, one that had incredible challenges. Vegeta could barely believe it. To their surprise, however, there is a loud knock on the door. Pan goes to open it. Super Goku and Vegeta's eyes widen instantly. It was Samazu. Goku jumps in front of Pan, pushing her aside, but the body simply falls. He was alive, but really weak, and then it clicked. It wasn't Zamasu, not really, because he could feel the ki of GT Goku in there. With the last of his breath, GT Goku whispered something about a hole in the sky. Gohan yelled at Pan to go get a senzu bean from Korin Tower, but as she rushed out, she called for everyone to come out. There was a giant rip in the sky, as if someone had cut through it. There was electricity coming from it, and buildings were being lifted up. Pan continued towards Korin Tower. GT Trunks agreed to stay behind and looked after GT Goku, while the rest went out and investigate. The super team feared the worst. As they approached the rip in the sky, they realized that it was over West City, and the city was being torn apart. Some things looked distorted. That's when they heard a voice from behind. The voice of little kid Goku, but he spoke as if he was a divine being. Goku and Vegeta knew what this was about. The voice told them about mortals, and their disgusting use of time travel, their lack of morality. That is why they had to die. GT Vegeta and the rest were confused, but future Trunks explained. This isn't the Goku you know. This is Zamasu. He took your Goku's body, and he will destroy the whole universe if we don't stop him. Though, the hole in the sky is sort of new.
Ha! So you knew of my plan already. The doctors were right about you three. Your reality will make a fine dish for justice.
What are you on about, Zamasu?
You! You are the one whose body I wanted, but Shenron gave me this weaker one. No matter. Once I obtain his new state, no one will be able to stop me.
Wait, Kakarot, isn't that…
Everyone looked up and realized something horrific. Beyond the hole in the sky, there was a mirror version of West City, but one that seemed slightly younger. One with their own Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fighting against a set of villains.
That's right. The doctors wanted a simple plan of ripping a hole from hell into Earth. But once I overheard them, I had a better idea. The stories they would tell about a so-called Goku disgusted me. Even more so when Mew told of a new Goku that seemingly appeared from a different reality. By using the concept of ripping a hole from hell, I helped them destroy the dividing line between this reality and your son, Goku. The mortals in this dimension aren't enough. I must purge all mortals from every reality.
The old went cold, but acted quickly. GT Gohan and Super Vegeta rushed into the hole, while Goku, Trunks, and GT Vegeta rushed towards Zamasu. But before they could reach him, Zamasu jumped backwards and revealed that he wasn't alone. He wasn't the only one to come out of hell, and a huge set of villains attacked the heroes, including some exclusive to each other's timelines. For example, Gohan did not recognize a purple Vegeta, but Goku recognized him instantly as Potafu. Meanwhile, Vegeta and GT Gohan crossed the line into Super's universe. They watched as Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all fought a mysterious set of enemies, but Super Vegeta couldn't believe it when he saw it. Gohan and the rest were battling two Android 17s. One was clearly the one they knew, the one that had saved the universe in the Tournament of Power, but the second one wore 17's old outfit. They were both terrifyingly powerful. Goten and Trunks were extremely hurt, but Gohan tried his best. Vegeta and GT Gohan landed down and explained everything they knew, while keeping 17 at bay. Ultimate Gohan was confused, as he watched his GT self turn into a Super Saiyan 2.
It's too late, Gohan. Even these two can't help you now. What are you talking about? We defeated you once, we will again. You don't get it. Your 17 fell easily under our control thanks to the power of our Hellfighter 17.
Meanwhile, Pan rushed over to get the senzu beans, but she watched as Yajirobe and Korin fell off the tower. Pan managed to save them, but recognized that another set of Korin and Yajirobe were falling. She was able to save them too, though the second set was quite hurt. Pan asked what was going on, but before anyone could answer, a piece of the lookout came crashing down, scratching her cheek. She looked up in horror. Jiro smirked as the heroes watched the two androids form up towards one another and overlap. A bright light was emitted, and a new being was born. Super Android 17.
And much like our dear 17 here, our universes will collide and become one.
Pan's eyes widened, witnessing the collision of both Korin Tower and the Lookout against another set of Korin Tower and Lookout. There wasn't just a portal to another dimension. The binding between the dimensions itself was being destroyed. The battle between Goku and the forces from Hell continued. Though they didn't have much trouble, it did keep them away from Zamasu. GT Trunks ran towards the stolen body, trying to fight him off. However, not even his Super Saiyan was enough, as Black was above and beyond Trunks' power. Goku tried to stop Trunks from attacking, but it was too late. He was sent flying off into the crowd of villains. Goku managed to save him by blasting the crowd, but Black kicked Goku in the face and through the portal, only to be grabbed by Super 17 immediately after passing through. His energy was being absorbed quickly, but Super Vegeta grabbed him and pulled him out. The battle between the dimensions continued. Though most of the villains that Dr. Gero, Black, and Mew had taken from Hell were being defeated, Super 17 and Black were giving the heroes a lot of trouble, basically ping-ponging them between dimensions. It wasn't long before Android 18 arrived, carrying with her an extremely hurt Krillin. Tiana, Yamcha, Chaozu, and other heroes from Earth were busy around the globe trying to save people as buildings collapsed or were being lifted up into the other universe. It seemed like, as Black fought, he learned a little bit more about how to use this body, but he knew that this wasn't his maximum strength. Far away, in outer space, a small hole ripped. This confused Frieza, who was sitting on top of his spaceship, looking over the universe, planning his next move. From it, two figures emerged. One was a mirror image version of Frieza, and the other was Cell. Frieza was confused. He thought it was some kind of prank by Goku and Vegeta, but once the Hell version of Frieza and Cell claimed themselves to be the rightful rulers of the universe, Frieza couldn't help but laugh. He asked his other self to transform into his golden form so they could have a fair match, but GT Frieza had no idea what he was talking about. In response, the flabbergasted Frieza turned into his golden state, blasting both of them back where they came from. The hole closed off, and Frieza went back to his business, wondering what the hell was going on. Gero kept babbling on and on about taking over the universes, but Mew had had enough of it, and nodded over at Android 17 while going over to the GT reality. Super 17 pointed his arm at Gero, blasting him away. 18 was in disbelief, though she didn't pity Gero. GT Vegeta had one more thing under his sleeve. After seeing the power of both Super Saiyan 4 and the Super Saiyan gods, he asked Bulma for help. Together, they worked on a machine, and this was the result. Bulma, who was watching everything from the other side of the portal, saw Vegeta's signal and fired the Bloods wave from an antenna dish coming out of Capsule Corp. This hit Vegeta square on, and he transformed into an Ozaru. The rampaging monster scared everyone, with Zamasu and 17 laughing. But the Ozaru focused his eyes on Goku Black. Then, he came to his senses. His form became small again, transforming into a Super Saiyan 4. His power was immense, very impressive, but Goku Black admitted that he wasn't the only one to be able to transform like that, and now that the blood waves had dissipated around them, it would be easier than ever for him to transform, and with that, he snapped his fingers, his body morphing into his own godly version of Super Saiyan 4.
This is the new power you mortals have. But what do you think of this guy? Is it not beautiful? I shall call this Divine Super Saiyan 4.
Around the same time, Pan got to GT Goku, giving him a senzu bean. Pan, GT Goku, and Trunks all rushed towards the arena, but a hurt GT Gohan yelled at them to stop, to not get any closer, to instead find the Dragon Balls. Ultimate Gohan couldn't help but stare at Pan. It was very strange to see his little girl all grown up. He smiled, but told her that yeah, they need to find the Dragon Balls, that they will explain everything later. However, Goku Black chuckled. He said that he had already used the Dragon Balls. That's how he stole Goku's body. That's how he collapsed the two universes. The last wish had taken so much power out of Shenron that he was only able to make 2 wishes. But Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta smirked, saying that Goku Black hadn't taken into account one thing. There's currently 2 sets of Dragon Balls. Goku Black was taken aback, but GT Goku, Trunks, Gohan, and Pan all knew what he was talking about. They instantly went to get the Dragon Radar and spread through the world, looking for the Dragon Balls. Goku Black was going to try to stop them, but an angered Super Saiyan Blue Goku stepped in the way. The battle continued. Android 18 did her best to try to reason with Super 17, but nothing was getting through to him. In fact, she was simply slapped away. Super Trunks tried his hardest against him too, along with Vegeta, but it was difficult to keep up with them. After all, the Android 17 they knew was one of the strongest fighters in all of the universes. At the same time, Ultimate Gohan, Blue Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta fought against Goku Black, but the evil god could create duplicates of himself, keeping everyone at bay. They couldn't figure out a way to defeat them, especially without damaging Goku's body or killing Android 17. During their battle, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta thought of something. It was going to be very risky, since he hadn't used this technique since his battle against Moro. He disappeared from sight. Super 17 tried to detect him, but he was nowhere to be found. Trunks and 18 began to fire blasts at Super 17, forcing him to open his barrier. But right as he was going to, Vegeta jumped in from behind, grabbing him in a full Nelson. Super 17 laughed. He thought that Vegeta was going to sacrifice himself. Super 17 could simply absorb that energy, but Vegeta told him that he wasn't going to do that. In fact, he was going to save the 17 he knew. Holding on from one side, he pulled out his arm, pointing his open palm at 17. The android felt like he was being pulled apart. He didn't understand what was happening. Remember, Hellfighter 17 is a Neo Machine mutant. So, although he is a machine, he's much more complicated than that. He's much more similar to General Rildo than he is Android 19. Plus, the androids in GT are said to have a key. Goku, while fighting Goku Black, recognizes what his friend is doing. He's using Spirit Vision to divide the 17s. His arm starts to shake. This is taking a lot out of Vegeta. But there's something that feels like an explosion. And the next thing 18 sees is Vegeta holding on to Android 17, while Hellfighter 17 looked at his hands in horror. A tearful Android 18 blasted at Hellfighter 17, along with Trunks. Hell 17's eyes widened as he perished. Mew was trying to think of something to do. He had to get away, he had to escape, he knew that he was next. Without his creation, there was nothing to protect him. After all, he was immortal too. Mew watched in horror, but felt something sharp strike him through the stomach. Goku Black had teleported behind him, and ended him as well. But the battle against Black was not over quite yet. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Goku were doing well, but it was clear that the combination of Super Saiyan 4 and Zamazu's Divine Ki had created a true monster. Vegeta fired a final shine attack that sent Goku Black flying through the portal. Goku appeared behind him and fired a Kamehameha right back into the portal again. Black was getting tired of this game. He commanded his clones to attack. At the same time, the Dragon Ball hunters were having a hard time. There's no way they could find the Dragon Balls in such little amount of time. They needed to help the fighters somehow. That's when GT Trunks had an idea. They had one set of Dragon Balls already, the Black Star Dragon Balls that the Super Team was supposed to take to their universe. Of course, this was dangerous. After 1 year, the planet would explode. But Goku agreed. This was a great idea. Right now, with Zamazu's body, and after the Senzu Bean, Goku is able to teleport. He could bring the Dragon Balls over to the planet that Baby had created, New Planet Plant. There, they could make the wish to give Goku back his original body, and he could go help them. Pan and the rest agreed, and they headed to the lookout to get the Dragon Balls. Goku told everyone to head over to the battle site, but be careful, while he teleported over to Planet Plant. There, Ultimate Shenron appeared before him. Goku apologized for the inconvenience, but asked to get his body back. Goku Black grabbed Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Goku by the head and smashed them against each other. Two clones approached each of the fighters, with scythes pointing straight at them. They were ready to cut them down. However, as the scythe swung towards Super Saiyan Blue Goku, there was a silver flare that pushed everyone away. When Vegeta opened his eyes, all of the clones were gone. There was just the incredible power of Ultra Instinct Goku. This only helped to make Goku Black even more upset. This was a power exclusive to gods. There's no way that someone like him could have it. He tried to attack again, but nothing was working this time. Goku ducked under one of the punches. Goku followed it up with an incredible uppercut. As his fist made contact with Goku Black's face, his body changed. Instead of being Goku's Super Saiyan 4 body, it was now just Zamazu. The punch created a wave of energy around them that sent Zamazu flying off into the hole where he came from. But he was going to return. He was about to rush back in. Ultra Instinct Goku smiled, looking up at the portal. Then he turned. He saw Super Saiyan 4 Goku back to normal. GT Goku commented on how he needed to be taught that new technique. Ultra Instinct Goku promised to. The two turned towards the portal. Ultra Instinct Goku pushed back his right arm, cupping his hand. Super Saiyan 4 Goku did the same, but with his left hand. The two created a red and silver energy sphere. They screamed out the Kamehameha, pushing both their hands forward. At the same time, Vegeta fired a final shine attack, and Ultimate Gohan a giant Masenko. Zamazu tried to escape, but it was too late. The blast consumed him completely, creating a sort of sphere. It exploded. Goku Black was defeated. Super 17 was defeated. Both universes were safe. Everyone returned to normal, to their base form. The people from the Dragon Ball Super universe returned, saying goodbye to their GT counterparts, explaining that they needed to help everyone in their own universe. The GT team did the same, but a crack was heard. GT GT Goku looked up and saw that the space where they had fired the Kamehameha had ripped further open, almost as if the power they had emitted only worsened the situation. He felt cold. Future Trunks noticed it too, and before everyone left, he told them that they needed to collect the Dragon Balls and wish for things to return to normal. But with what set? The DBS Dragon Balls had been used by Zamasu. It would take a whole nother year for them to return to normal. The Black Star Dragon Balls were scattered through the universe. The Super Dragon Balls would take too long to find. It was obvious they only had one option: to find the GT Dragon Balls. This would be easy enough. After all, Pan and the rest were already doing that, and they had one Dragon Ball already. Pan took it out of her bag and smiled, but Ultimate Gohan focused on it and realized that there was a crack on it. He didn't think it would be anything important. Maybe they were damaged during the battle. He shrugged it off, but unknown to him, an even darker power loomed beyond. One that would require the power of multiple dimensions to keep the Earths safe. The Z-Warriors from the two different realities unite, gathering the 7 magic Dragon Balls from the GT universe. They want to use it in order to undo everything that Zamasu and Super Android 17 did. As Pan chants the words, the Eternal Dragon, Shenron, begins to form from a beam of light. However, this is not the same dragon as normal. This dark version of Shenron smokes on the faces of our heroes, explaining that the 7 Dragon Balls from this reality have been corrupted by dark energy, and that the breaking of realities only increased the dark power, corrupting the Dragon Balls even further. Before anyone has any time to argue, the Dragon Balls spread through the world. This terrifying set of consequences was something none of the Z fighters could have foreseen. The team divides up into groups to look for the Dragon Balls. Gohan, GT Gohan, and Pan go for the 2-star Dragon Ball. GT Vegeta and Super Vegeta go for the 1-star Dragon Ball. GT Goku and Super Goku go for the 4-star Dragon Ball. Trunks and GT Trunks head towards the 5th. Krillin, Super 18, and GT 18, as well as 17, head towards the 6-star Dragon Ball. Kid Trunks, Kid Goten, and Adult Goten go for the 7-star Dragon Ball. And finally, Oob, Majin Buu, and Mr. Satan head to the 3-star Dragon Ball. The adventure commences. GT Gohan and Super Gohan, along with Pan, find Hey Shenron amongst the city. Pan shows up to her dad's, to which they are very proud of her. In particular, Super Gohan, who's excited to see what kind of person his version of Pan will turn into. The Shadow Dragon pollutes the area, making Pan weak. GT Gohan tries to attack, but he falls as well. The pollution is really taking a toll on them. However, Super Gohan seems to be about to fall, but powers up into his ultimate state. His aura clears the pollution, and he's able to defeat Hei's Shenron. Around the same time, Kid Trunks, Kid Goten, and GT Goten find Rage Shenron. The kids tell Goten to stand aside, but he doesn't want to get them hurt. He instead jumps in the way and attacks the dragon, but simply gets slapped away. The kids laugh before fusing into Gotenks. By using a galactic donut to stop him in place, they pierce right through him. GT Goten says that he has to remember to try that again with Trunks. Android 17, 18, and Krillin head to the sea, where they find Oceana Shenron. Krillin blushes but gets slapped in the back of the head by both GT and his Android 18. GT Krillin arrives not long after, saying that he wants to help. The battle starts with 17 and 18 fighting, but the Krillins say that they want a shot. Oceanus is insulted that they are treating this as a game, and reveals her true form of a monstrous dragon. 17 knocks Oceanus down to the ground, where the two Krillins use the Kamehameha against Oceanus, defeating her. Natron Shenron is confronted by GT Trunks and Dragon Ball Super Trunks. They work together and defeat the monster easily. GT Trunks comments on how he really wants to learn that new form that DBS Trunks has. Piccolo, Majin and Majin Buu look around for the 3-star Dragon Ball when they are attacked by Ice Shenron. Oob and Majin Buu have a lot of trouble against this monster. The power can't really match his, and when he reveals that he was the result of making everyone forget about Buu's misdeeds, Oob feels ashamed. It was the power that he now possesses that killed so many people. He feels that he shouldn't even be here helping them out. But Mr. Satan and Buu tell him that it's not his fault. And for a second, Buu looks like the Grand Supreme Kai, giving Oob a smile. Oob finally agrees and utilizes everything his master, Goku, taught him. Ice is still too much, but as the dragon's about to finish Oob off, he feels a whiff of air pulling him back. It's Buu. Ice struggles to walk towards Oob, but this is his chance. Pointing his finger at Ice and turning him into candy, Buu eats him instantly, and the dragon Dragon Ball remains inside of him, resting in a cocoon. The two Gokus headed towards the 4-star Dragon Ball. It was their granddad's. Nova Shenron appears, and he wants a fair fight, taking on Super Saiyan 4 Goku first. Goku's slower than Nova, and he gets knocked down. Realizing he needs movement more than anything, Goku taps into Ultra Instinct. The dragon's very surprised, especially when he can't even touch him anymore. Goku reverts back, realizing that this isn't a fair fight, ending up with simply using Blue in a combination attack where Blue Goku kicks Nova away, just to be blasted away by Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The dragon is defeated, but neither of the Gokus want to kill him. Nova explains that this is his fate, and that they won fair and square, but GT Goku extend his hand, telling Nova that they will keep him around until the end. Nova agrees. This is when they feel an incredible power not too far away. Dragon Ball Super Vegeta and GT Vegeta clash heads quite a bit during their travels. They fundamentally disagree on a lot of things, on how they've been approaching their training and their attitude towards Kakarot. DBS Vegeta never gave up on trying to beat Kakarot, he just took his own path, while GT Vegeta was content with simply trying his best, because he knew that one day he would surpass Kakarot. But that was besides the point. They both also talked a lot about Bulma, Trunks, Bra. Super Vegeta was particularly interested on how Bra turned out to be. After all, his was still just a baby. GT Vegeta laughed and said that he wouldn't say much, but that she is her dad's princess. Super Vegeta blushed. But it's during one of these conversations that they were attacked by Shenron. He was the most powerful of the Shadow Dragons, and they could tell. They really doubted they both needed to fight, so they were going to take turns, starting with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who could nearly keep up with Sin. But there was something off about this dragon, a dark energy that seemed to be collecting all around them. Eventually, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta attacked out with Super Saiyan Blue. All the Z Fighters arrived to watch the ongoing battle between Shenron, GT Vegeta, and DBS Vegeta. Shenron has amassed a huge dark aura around himself. They're taking turns, with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta having a good time against Sin. But as the dragon sees everyone arrive with the Dragon Balls, he absorbs them, all except for 3 and 4. Nova tries to stop him, while Vegeta tries to Spirit Fission the Dragon Balls out. But as Omega is about to kill Nova, Nova is killed, shot through the chest, and Vegeta is shot through the arm, but not by Omega Shenron, but by Moro and 7-3. Moro comments on how that Spirit Fission thing won't work against him, and galactic prisoners from both the Dragon Ball Super Universe and the GT Universe scatter all around. Moro explains he is the Moro from the Little Goku's universe. After Zamasu from the GT universe tried to combine the two timelines, the galactic prisons from both universes collided against one another, freeing this Moro. The galactic prisoners from the Super universe wanted revenge on Earth, and so they warned this Moro about Vegeta, Goku, Spirit Fission, and the rest. Moro wastes no time and eats the Minus Energy Sphere, while Omega absorbs the 4-star Dragon Ball. The dragon then attacks Moro, but he simply steals more power from him. 7-3 also protects Moro, taking scales from all 7 Shadow Dragons minus Ice. He feels a little overwhelmed by this dark power, but is ready to fight. Moro gives Omega an offer. If he keeps generating dark energy for him to eat, then he will help him defeat the Z Fighters. And so, the battle commences. Moro is far more dangerous than Omega Shenron, but they complement one another. As long as Omega Shenron keeps generating the negative energy, Moro keeps getting stronger and stronger. Goku and Vegeta from the Dragon Ball Super Universe focus in on Omega Shenron, trying to stop him from generating energy, while the GT Universe zooms in on Moro. But both of their power is incredible, and both teams are having some trouble. Meanwhile, 7-3 and the other Galactic Patrol prisoners battle the Half Saiyans. GT Trunks, Goten, GT Goten, and both Gohans defend the Earth valiantly. GT Goten and Trunks even fused into Gotenks, amassing an incredible power to defend Earth. But 7-3's power is incredible. After all, the power of the Shadow Dragons is something unpredictable, and a fiery storm rains upon them as he utilizes the power of Nova Shenron. Additionally, Buu and Majin Buu battled a powered-up Sagambo, but it's thanks to the incredible power of Ultimate Gohan that they're able to take 7-3 on. Future Trunks and Ultimate Gohan look at each other, both rushing in to attack 7-3. He dodges out of the way of the sword swing and is able to kick Gohan away. Adult Gotenks utilizes a burning Kamehameha that sends 7-3 back, and as he's sent flying back, Kid Gotenks turns him into a ball, smashing him back down to the ground. However, 7-3 stands up, creating a minus energy sphere of his own, and shooting him upwards towards everyone. All the fighters spread out, but both Gohans are ready, as GT Gohan and Super Gohan kick the ball up in the air, away from the battle. GT Gohan sticks his left arm out, while Ultimate Gohan sticks out his right arm. Between the two, they create a blue energy sphere. They shoot out this double Kamehameha towards 7-3. As it's about to hit him, he dodges towards the left. What he wasn't expecting was Pan kicking him back into the blast, being consumed by it. Thus is the end of 7-3. GT-18, DBS-18, 17, and Krillin arrived to help fight the remaining prisoners. But everyone is tired, and so is Moro, tired of the losers around him. He grabs Super Saiyan 4 Goku by the leg and swings him into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This wasn't really to hurt them or anything, instead was just to get away, rushing down towards the unconscious body of 7-3. He wasn't going to let this ability or his energy go to waste, absorbing 7-3 onto himself, further evolving. Moro's power rocks the earth. Even Omega Shenron couldn't believe it. Moro and Omega Shenron stand side by side, looking down at the heroes. Both sets of Goku and Vegeta are panting. They don't have many options left. GT Vegeta, out of all the people there, suggests the fusion dance. Super Saiyan 4 Goku can't believe it, but he's willing to do it. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta says that this isn't an option for him. He does not want to fuse with Kakarot ever again. A little argument starts while the two Super Saiyan 4s get in line to fuse, and begrudgingly, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta agrees as well. They get in line to fuse, but to no avail, as both Moro and Omega Shenron rush towards them, not allowing them to fuse. They don't have time for this. Even while the other warriors try and help, Moro and Omega are simply too much, and they're still distracted by the remaining galactic prisoners. But Vegeta remembers something he had to do when he first met this other universe's Vegeta and Goku. He grits his teeth, hating to ask for help, but he yells out to the sky for Kaioshin. In no time flat, not only does Kibito Shin appear with his set of Potara in hand, but also Shin, his unfused self. As it turns out, the collision of realities also affected them, and he had his own set of Potara to give to them. They didn't want to waste any time there though, and they simply threw the Potara at the Saiyans, teleporting back. Goku and Vegeta were very thankful for their help. To ensure that they wouldn't fuse incorrectly, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta fused first, getting the Potara on just in time as Moro went in for a punch. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was born, grabbing Moro's fist and pushing him back. Next was the Super Saiyan Blues, as Vegeta kicked Omega away while placing his earring on, fusing once more into Vegito Blue. The two fusions stood back to back, ready for anything, creating a single red and blue aura around them. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito rushes towards Omega Shenron, while Super Saiyan 4 Vegito attacks Moro. But unbeknownst to everyone, Moro has been taking the energy of all the Z fighters. The two Gohans, Adult Gotenks, Kid Gotenks, Krillin, Oob, Piccolo, even Majin Buu. His power was increasing exponentially. Even so, Moro stood little chance against Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, and at every chance he got, he tried to absorb a little bit of his energy. Omega Shenron was having an even worse time, with Vegito not having to use his arms at all, simply kicking him around. At one point, the two fusions even switched opponents, with Super Saiyan 4 Vegito punching Omega Shenron across the face, while Blue Vegito kicked Moro down. The Vegitos could end this quickly, but their cockiness might have gotten the best of them, and they were playing around way too much with their enemies. At one point, the two Potara fusions lifted their arms up to the sky, blades shooting up from their arms. They pierced the sky, dispersing the dark energy and cleansing the world. The key swords reached as far as the eye could see, just to come crashing down, slicing Omega Shenron and Moro. Moro crash landed right next to Buu, and Omega Shenron next to him. Moro had had enough of this. Clearly, if he wanted something done, he had to do it himself. Standing up, he reached towards Omega, grabbing him by the neck, and with his other arm, he pierced through Buu, who was confused on what was happening. An orbed aura surrounded them, and Moro laughed, telling Buu that he'll be taking that, ripping the 3-star Dragon Ball away from him, saying that he knew that there was something missing. He proceeded to absorb both the 3-star Dragon Ball and Omega Shenron, who screamed out in pain. Buu was blown away, caught by Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. He was unconscious. but he was okay. The blinding flash of light caused everyone to be blown back, except for Vegito Blue and Super Saiyan 4. Out of it came out a monstrous being, resembling both Omega Shenron and Moro, spikes protruding from his body. This power was incredible, much greater than the sum of its parts, and just as fast as both Vegitos cleansed the world, dark clouds hovered over them, once again bringing the negative energy to Earth. And this time, the clouds emitted mist that flowed directly into Omega Moro, his aura becoming bigger and bigger. Electricity sparked around him. There was no more time to play. Both Vegitos looked at each other and rushed in, but Moro turned around, his spikes stabbing Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Blue Vegeta was coming in for a punch, but his spikes became electrified, causing an explosion for them both. But they were still stronger, quickly recovering and blasting him with two final Kamehamehas. The red, blue, and golden beams clashed together, crashing against Moro. He was hurt, but not nearly as much as they thought he would be. He began to create a negative energy sphere, determined to destroy the world. The fusions wouldn't allow it, with Super Saiyan 4 Vegito smashing his chest against Moro's. His ki boomed, pushing Moro back towards Vegito Blue, who stabbed him with a spirit blade. He explained that it was over. This was his last move. Vegito Blue lifted a sword up, giving Super Saiyan 4 Vegito a chance to blast him one more time, but as he swung, he defused. And just a second later, the other Vegito did too. Their power was too much for the Potara, and they lasted much less than the usual time. Moro got free, and instantly screamed out. A barrage of invisible kicks and punches, pushing both sets of Goku and Vegeta down. They were covered by rubble and dust. Omega Moro proceeds to create another energy sphere above his head, ready to destroy the world once and for all. Goku and Vegeta are yelling at each other that it was their fault for messing around too much. It's then when at the same time both Vegetas say that they will never fuse with Kakarot again, taking off their Potara. The two Gokus reach out, saying, "No, wait!" But before they can do anything, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Blue Goku smash against each other, their Potaras attracting one another into a brand new fusion. This new version of Goku looked at his hands, and then his clothing. His bottoms were clearly a combination of GT Gokus and Super Gokus, but that meant that so was his power, and he instantly powered up to the max, his aura erupting. And just as Omega threw down the negative energy sphere, Goku's aura consumed it, turning the Ki Ball into nothingness. Moro couldn't help but be in shock, and the two Gokus, as one, rushed in. As they pulled their arm back for a punch, their fur turned silver, leaving trails of sparkles behind. Moro began to throw everything he had at him: blasts, Ki Balls, fire, ice, even shrapnel from around them. But every single thing he dodged. Part of him thought so this was the power of Ultra Instinct, and the other part thought this was something all too familiar to him. He reached Moro and slammed his leg against his head, causing him to crash down, but he left him no room to breathe, coming down with a fist full of ki and smashing his face against it. None of the Z fighters could believe it, but Piccolo explained he hadn't seen Goku this excited in a long time, but they were pushing their body to the limit. This Potara fusion wouldn't last long, and they knew it too, but they noticed that the whole time that this Goku was fighting, he had one arm lifted up to the sky. He was creating a spirit bomb, and it was already huge behind him. This was a multi-dimensional spirit bomb, gathering energy from enemies and allies from all over the universes. The Para brothers, Legic, Frieza, even Jacko and Miras somewhere out there in the universe. The Genki Dama got even larger when they realized a specific energy coming their way: Lord Beerus. His ki caused the Genki Dama to get larger, but he didn't arrive alone. He arrived with another set of Beerus and Whis. They simply stood there, silently, until one of the Beerus said to take this energy and not to waste it. Meanwhile, the other Beerus was perplexed to see a mere mortal utilizing the technique of the gods, Ultra Instinct. In his last move, the fused Goku charged a Ki Ball on his left arm, running towards Omega Moro. He was defenseless, and as the energy ball touched him, he was launched up to the sky. Goku teleported up to the sky with his arms lifted up, the huge spirit bomb hovering over him. Moro couldn't do anything. His eyes simply widened as the bright light blinded him. He couldn't stop himself as he was being launched up, and Goku moved his arms down, the spirit bomb crashing down against Moro. The fusion undid itself, with Kid Goku and base DBS Goku pushing down the spirit bomb. But Moro wasn't done just yet. He was struggling just slightly against the spirit bomb. But Super Goku thought of something, looking over at Majub, yelling at him to give every last bit of energy he can. Oob is confused as to why to single him out, but he doesn't question it, instantly lifting both arms up and giving all of his ki, getting worn out quickly. But the ki he provided was enough to nearly double the size of the spirit bomb. In an instant, Moro was defeated. Nothing left behind but the Dragon Balls that came crashing down to Earth. Out of them came out the god dragon Shenron, who presented himself in front of both Gokus, thanking them for helping him destroy the negative energy and for everything they've done for the world through these years. However, it was time for him and Goku to leave. Both Gokus. But the two Beerus stood up, telling Shenron to fix all of this first. Shenron was terrified and told him that he'll do it right away. Dragon Ball Super Goku turned around to look at his family. He knew what Shenron meant, but he wasn't done just yet. He had a lot more to do still. He looked at little Goku with a smile, telling him that if this is his future in one way or another, then he's very proud of himself. GT Goku smiled and agreed. The adult Goku looked at Shenron and told him that he wasn't ready to leave just yet. Shenron understood, and soon enough, GT Goku and Shenron left, and behind them, the portals between the two realities began to close. Everyone hugged, telling each other thank you, and that they're very proud of one another. GT Vegeta in particular, telling them that he learned a lot of lessons, and that meeting them just reinforced them. He was going to keep getting stronger, his own way. Dragon Ball Super Vegeta agreed, punching Goku in the face, just sending a message. Super Vegeta also approached Bra and Trunks, telling them both to be brave, and that he's very proud of them. Bra rolled her eyes, but hugged her dad. Finally, both sides of the Son family reunited, telling each other that they will meet again. They know so. They all began to leave, with Beerus nearly having to drag Goku away. But as they were leaving, Goku turned around and looked at Oob. He was waving to his master goodbye, to both of them. It was something he wasn't quite ready for, but he knew that now the fate of the world was on his shoulders, along with Gohan, Trunks, Goten, everyone else. Goku winked at Oob, and the Dragon Ball Super team disappeared. Now it's time for the GT team to rebuild Earth, and to get ready for anything, since now they won't have Goku. Meanwhile, the Dragon Ball Super team returned, with Beerus severely scolding Goku and Vegeta, and Beerus threw Trunks into the time machine, telling him to go away, and to never come back. Trunks simply waved at everyone, scared of Beerus, and the machine went away. Beerus was just glad that Zeno didn't seem to have noticed what happened. Whis used his staff to hit both Goku and Vegeta in the head. They fell to the ground, creating a crater under them, but they smiled at the sky, chuckling. They knew their adventures weren't over just yet. Unknown to them, rips in space and time were happening, not because of their adventure necessarily, but because of many others out there. But that's the end of this story, with Goku and Vegeta looking forward for the next time they meet their GT counterparts.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SmugStick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.